excuse the gloom, but none may know of this meeting. The nature of my trouble is darker still. Over a year ago, King Lysandus of Daggerfall died honorably on the field of battle. He was as loyal a subject, ally, and friend as you are. I did grieve for him, but his spirit does not rest. With a spectral army, he haunts his former kingdom, crying for revenge. I do not know why a good and loyal man would be so cursed. Perhaps you can find the answer and close the marble jaws of oblivion, bringing peace to his soul. I ask this as your emperor and your friend. I have one lesser request. Several years ago, I wrote a letter to the Queen of Daggerfall. It never arrived. The letter was of a sentimental and personal nature. If you find and destroy that letter, I will be grateful. Now, my champion, rest well this night, for tomorrow you sail for the kingdom of Daggerfall.
Hey there folks, my name is Cypher, professional self-abuser and highly efficient, well-calibrated ground detector.
Yep, that's the ground.
And today I'm going to tell you about a game that has abusively kept my attention for 10 years, despite me never finishing it. It has mechanics you have to get a major in at Harvard before legally being allowed to discuss them, and has a map as big as England would be if England were real. Daggerfall is an old-ass game your granddad played on his IBM typewriter from the 1930s. That means it should be practically inaccessible to my damaged Zoomer brain due to all the legal methamphetamines given to me as a child. Why am I playing this? I should be playing something more befitting of my attention span. This game looks like a rough draft. It looks like the video game equivalent of a philosophy paper you wrote at 3 a.m. still drunk on Tito's. A paper that's so fucked up you can't even read it coherently the next day. You know that type of paper, where you're pretty sure you just wrote a fanfiction about Plato sucking off Diogenes while Alexander the Great recorded with an iPhone 5 while throwing money at them, but it's due today and you gotta send it in no matter what? Yeah, that kind of paper. That's kind of what Daggerfall looks like. You can't see more than 5 feet in front of you, your weapons kind of look like weapons maybe, I guess, and the ground texture looks like someone threw up after downing a few liters of Coke in a bag of Frosted Flakes. The controls are fucking awful and splayed over the entire distance of the keyboard. Mouse control is disabled by default, and even if you do use it, it's as awkward as coming out to your parents by having them walk in while you're balls deep in your Astolfo plushie. For example, in one mode, your mouse is freely moving and only adjusts your viewpoint when you reach the edges of the screen, and even then it doesn't let you shift your view up and down, because you have to use fucking insert and delete to look up and down for some ungodly reason. The other mode removes your crosshair and makes controlling the inventory with the mouse impossible. Your movement is mapped to the arrow keys, attack is bound to the right click, the jump button has gone AWOL, and the interact key has snuck into its place at the spacebar. P and O have had a knife fight and both died in the ambulance ride to the hospital, the number pad is off on a paid vacation doing fuck all, and the mouse is threatening to sue me for libel. It's a clown circus fuckfest that only perverts and Ouya owners would attend willingly. These controls are awful even for the time period. The game is borderline unplayable with the original controls for anyone who has been introduced to technology produced since the Palm Trio 650. Well, back in my day, we didn't even have a mouse. We played Doom with a trackball uphill in the snow both ways. Shut the fuck up, boomer. No one cares. I bet you drink black coffee and eat grapefruit and prunes, too. To avoid giving myself an aneurysm, we're gonna download Daggerfall Unity, a fan-made overhaul mod that makes the game look, run, and control much better. Ah, sweet relief. Moving on, Daggerfall is an interesting game because it's not good, yet it's so fucking good. I can't quit playing it. Every single one of the quests are the type of quests game critics started shitting on Skyrim for the day after The Witcher 3 came out. Quests, rewards for quests, and encounters inside dungeons are all randomly generated, and most of these quests boil down to fetch quests. On top of that, rewards often don't match the difficulty of the job given. So, like, for example, you might get a quest that says, go to Kavaltus Gungundir Barrow, find the murderous pack of giants at the lowest level of the 60-mile wide dungeon, kill all 10 of them, and I'll give you 10 gold as a reward. Never mind that this is literally impossible for you at your level. Oh, and you have 10 days to get there and back, or I'll hate you forever. Yeah, that kind of sums up like 90% of the quests in Daggerfall. Every dungeon is also randomly generated to an extent. Some story dungeons have set generation types, but even the fixed dungeons are literally bigger than all of Skyrim's dungeons combined on their own. So yeah, you'll be backtracking a lot in these godforsaken labyrinths, because you will find tons of good loot that you absolutely should not leave, but can't carry it because you forgot to drop off your gold at the bank. Gold has weight, so you're over encumbered, so you gotta go back up to the cart at the start of the dungeon to drop off your loot, and god, everything sucks, doesn't it? Maybe you should just take up courier work. You will get lost, not just in dungeons, but in towns and cities as well. So get a mark and recall spell and leave it anywhere you'd like to easily return. This game's map is unnecessarily large. Every single province in Daggerfall's map has its own miniature game map, and every one of these provinces has dozens if not hundreds of towns and cities and dungeons and more. And every single one of those dungeons and cities and towns are large enough to contain an entire story to themselves, if the developers had cared about your opinion. The map of Daggerfall is impossibly large. So large, in fact, that the only games since that have surpassed its size are No Man's Sky and Minecraft. Sean Murray, you win this one. You cannot be reasonably expected to walk from one town to the next, so the fast travel system is absolutely a requirement to progress through the game. Walk, ride, swim, boat, or take a carriage. Doesn't matter to me. The combat is kind of like Morrowind, but worse in that it's even more stat-based and has even less information for the player's convenience. Oh, not having an indication that you missed makes you hate Morrowind's combat? Boo-hoo, little pee-pee piss baby. How about if we don't even let you hit because imps aren't affected by iron weapons? How about that, huh? Huh? Fuck you. Everything from opening chests to triggering traps to asking where the 7-Eleven is a dice roll and based on your chosen stats. So I hope you chose well 14 hours ago. Oh, you accidentally made underwater basket weaving a major skill? Want to re-roll so you don't die to paralysis every time you get into combat? Fuck you again. This is not a children's game. There are no second chances. One mistake, one overestimation of your skills, and you're suddenly poisoned and passing out in the middle of a fight with 12 thieves that block or dodge all of your attacks. This game has it all. Nudity, violence, drug use, racism, and loitering. Daggerfall is a brutal, unforgiving RPG from the time where games were not scared to make you regret your purchase. Can't get past the first dungeon? Wish you had your money back? Good luck returning that floppy disk without your mom taking a day off work to ship it for you through the snail mail, you fucking buffoon. Hey, it's not all pain and suffering, though. If you didn't plan your build out correctly with guides that someone studied the game for 50 years to build for you, you always have the option of taking only courier quests and book retrieval quests. I mean, you can make good money being a mailman. I'll make fun of you for it, but hey, you do you, man. That brings us to our goals as the player. Saving the world? Fuck the world. Let it burn. Stopping the fuck whatever that thing is. I can't even be fucked to spell its name, much less fight it. The real goal in Daggerfall is to get rich or die trying. See, Daggerfall is not like Skyrim or Morrowind, where you're permitted by Todd to buy a house or allowed a horse or two, and the rest of your money just piles up in your inventory until your pocketbook looks like a room in Scrooge McDuck's mansion. No, not Daggerfall. Daggerfall is the type of game that says, you know what, buddy? Have a fucking yacht. You can buy houses everywhere. You can buy a boat, carriages for carrying more gear from dungeons, horses. Hell, you can even go to the bank, take out a small loan of 1,000,000 drakes and refuse to return it, and watch your social credit score drop like you personally punched Xi Jinping in the dick. You'll need to set up a bank account though, because there's absolutely no way you can carry that much gold because yeah, again, gold isn't weightless. So you'll need to find a way to launder the bank's money fast, then run into the next county for a while. There's nothing better than using government money to fund your criminal enterprise. Get in trouble with the law? Go to court. Plead guilty and go to jail for a reduced sentence. Claim you're innocent. Roll a persuasion check. Fail. Go to jail and pay a fine. Spend so long in jail that you fail the main quest and doom the entire world because you couldn't help yourself in that temple full of sexy Dibella worshippers. It all depends on you and how you want to play. Daggerfall is an Elder Scrolls themed life simulator, and you can do so much stuff in this game that I've spent nearly 1,000 hours in it over the course of the last 10 years and never even finished it. Never even bothered. I can't even really tell you if the story is good. That's how little I've played of it. I could bullshit you and read through the entire plot synopsis on, like, Wikipedia or something, like everyone else does when they talk about this game, but I won't, because that's not what Daggerfall is about. You play the main quest because you got bored of becoming the richest land baron in all of High Rock, not because it's urgent or necessary to the enjoyment of the game. I've spent hours just mindlessly farming single dungeons for gems and rare items, bringing them back to town to sell in my carriage full of loot, and then repeating the process until I got so tired I fell asleep at the keyboard at 3 a.m. on a Tuesday. This is the type of game where you just get lost and enjoy every second of it. And when you get softlocked because the game is a fucking mess even in the Unity engine, you just reload and start over. There's a lot to be said about a game that doesn't feel the need to wow me with grand storylines and boss fights, and instead lets me really go out and do what I want to do. Yet, somehow it still manages to keep my attention really well. Hell, you can lose hours of your life just reading books in the game, some of which were transferred to the newer games, but were censored for a more mainstream audience. Oh, by the way, let me tell you about how canonically Khajiit have barbed penises, and how Queen Berenzia of Morrowind, or is it Berenzia? Berenzia? Anyway, she gets real freaky in public with Khajiit sometimes. Best of all, Daggerfall is free right now and probably forever on Bethesda's website, and also on the Daggerfall Unity website. You can get it for free right now, unless you're like cheeky and bought the Elder Scrolls Anthology like a stupid dumb idiot. Anyway, go download it right now off of Bethesda's website, and then download the free Unity launcher. You've got nothing to lose except the next few years of your life, so go ahead. I rate this game a 5 King Lysandus moaning seductively out of 1 million halts. It's a broken mess of a game that wasn't even completable at launch due to bugs, and is beyond overcomplicated and a chore to play, and yet I love it. I love it to death. And I hope that one day you'll go play it and enjoy it as much as I do. And to all of you that stayed to listen to my rant, thanks for watching.